Last Friday, I met some friends for a drink after work at a bar near where I live downtown. It was packed, as it has been since it opened recently, and it was filled mostly with young professionals. A man came in looking disheveled, maybe a little drunk, and he started to ask patrons for money. The bouncer moved swiftly to tell the man he couldn't stay, so he left. A few minutes later, I was outside taking a phone call, and the man was still there. But now he was flanked on either side by two security guards. I didn't see their badges, but based on where we were, I figured they were probably working for Dan Gilbert's Rock Ventures. They were both armed, and they were telling the disheveled man that he couldn't stay on the sidewalk outside the bar. He needed to move on, or they were going to call the cops. I remember the disheveled man saying something back to the guards, but he didn't dally. He walked away, and the guards watched him until he turned off Woodward. Now, technically, this is probably the way things should work, right? You can't panhandle in a bar, and you can't loiter outside waiting for the patrons to come out. Whatever social norms we might wish were different, there's no good reason for Detroit, unlike other cities, to tolerate nuisance behavior. But the security guards had confronted this man on a public sidewalk, not in a private establishment. And that's typically the realm of public policing, officers who work for all of us and serve and protect according to publicly accountable standards. That's where we may have a problem here in Detroit. As Nancy Caffer wrote this past weekend in the Detroit Free Press, Rock Ventures won't disclose who its security guards are, how they're trained, or what they're doing, even though anyone who's been downtown in the last few years knows they are involved in policing activities in public spaces. Other businesses that have private security forces, Blue Cross, DTE, were perfectly willing to discuss what they're doing, but Rock said, quote, "We simply don't provide details about our security processes and protocols as a matter of overall safety and security." Privacy to ensure security in a public space. Public activity, private force. Are we courting disaster? Are we permitting sacrificing public accountability for security?